Breakfast surgery. Good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome on my platform, Tokunbo Olagbaye. This is my platform. Today is a blessed Monday morning in the United Kingdom. Quick one. I want to go through, 1 hour program with you before I go on my advocacy job today. Morning, my dear. Good morning to all of you. Good morning. It is nice to unite with you guys back this morning, Monday morning, the 18th of June 2018. So it's a live recording program. I want to continue to appreciate all of you for joining me on my program. What I'm trying to look into this morning is to resolve some issues regarding the fee exemption on people that want to make application on a settlement basis in the United Kingdom. That is what I want to close down straight away today, so that people can just tighten up their belts. It is so important that we look into it quickly so that everyone can tighten their belts in that area. Tightening up of belts in that particular area is very important to me, so that we don't get careless. We don't leave things carelessly and get carried away. We don't leave things carelessly and get carried away on something that we know it is not happening. Morning guys, welcome on board to my platform. Welcome. Yes, I'm looking closely at the fee exemption on settlement application, whether those who are going on settlement have the opportunity, we'll call it opportunity, whether they have the advantage, to make application with a fee waiver application. It's just to find out whether they have the opportunity, whether it's embedded with the grant of status, so that when they are going in, they will have known what to do and prepare themselves in advance. The issue here that I want us to quickly focus on is that those who are going in for a settlement application, save in the cases of domestic violence, except in the case of domestic violence. If you are experiencing domestic violence against your spouse and it's been reported and there is evidence that it has had some attention from the Home Office, you will in no doubt have the opportunity to get your what we call a fee waiver on your settlement application, because it's on the domestic violence. It's on domestic violence. So it's got to be on domestic violence. If it's not on domestic violence, application will not go through. So please, let us have that in mind. Let me pop up my telephone things. When you are using all this iPhone 10, you have to use it with your Face ID to open it. So it's a bit difficult. I'm going to be on 07908 628240. So if you want to call me, you will get through to me on 07908 628240. I don't think you'll be able to get through to me on the landline at the moment. I think you should be able to get hold of me on my mobile, on the office mobile rather. So the question is, who can have the opportunity to have fee exemption when it comes to making an application to the Secretary of State in the United Kingdom? Who will have the opportunity to put in an application for a fee waiver? Who will have the opportunity to submit application to the Secretary of State on a fee waiver? Now, the point we have to go into quickly and look into is that there is no fee waiver if you are going to make an application for a settlement on a settlement basis after when you have been given a discretionary leave to remain. Now, the situation, I think I have covered it before, but it looks as if the email popping up all the time again, we have some issues on it, and it needs clarification. The government has made it clear, unless in a domestic violence matter, save in the case of domestic violence, then you will be able to have a fee waiver, and that is providing it has been reported to the authority, the stakeholder. So you have the refugee, women refugees in your hand, you have the police, there is medical issue, there is evidence of bruises, there is evidence of injury, you have given treatment, you have received attention from the, you've got attention through the police, through the refugee center, through the hospital, GP, consultant, then you have something to report back on, social services, social worker. Then you've got something to fall back on. But then to say in that kind of matter, you have to prove that you came to UK on the entry spouse visa, on the spouse visa. Because if you are an overstayer, you will not be able to rely on domestic violence if you want to go in. Now, on domestic violence one, if you have been given a discretionary leave under your husband and you are going through domestic violence, discretionary leave means that you have overstayed your visa, and you want to go on settlement. It's going to be a bit difficult. You've got to really prove your case. Majority of people that scale through on domestic violence applications, they are those ones that came in on the spouse visa. They are the ones that came in on the spouse visa. So if you don't come to the United Kingdom on a spouse visa, it basically means that your application is not going anywhere. Your application will not go through. So you've got to really look at it in that kind of, from that angle rather. You look at it from that angle. Now the government is saying that if you have been given discretionary leave, you need to be putting money aside. It's common sense. Anyway, there is no law telling you, because they're going to refuse you if there is no fee attached to the application. It's going to be refused. There's so many questions on my blog, on my inbox. The few inboxes are, in fact, and questions that are coming is that, can I go in on fee waiver? Can I make an application? My settlement is due. I have 3 children. I have 4 children. Listen, the moment you have been granted your discretionary leave to remain, on day one, start putting money aside, especially when you have hit your second term. Once you have hit your second term of application and you are successful and they've granted you the second term to go on to your 6th year before you will come in for your indefinite leave to remain, start saving money. Start saving money. Start saving money. For government to allow you to go through that 2,400 and something or 2,300 and something times 4 people for free, I think it's going to be very hard. And you are not facing, it's not that you are fleeing domestic violence. Unless you are fleeing domestic violence, you will not be able to have that opportunity. So you got to understand exactly what they are looking for. Now I'm on 07908 628240. I want to start taking questions and from those who have been disturbing me over the weekend. I've switched off that phone. The phone is now live back again on a Monday morning. I am prepared to start taking questions now before I start my work. As soon as I start, my client comes in, I'm going to go off straight away. My first appointment is not now, and my advocacy is not starting. So, question, ask me now. I'm available on 07908 628240. On 07908 628240, I am available to answer your question now. 07908 628240. So at the same time, at what stage would you have the opportunity to be successful on your application when you are fleeing domestic violence? At what stage as a spouse? Well, if you have entered the United Kingdom on entry clearance spouse visa, and there is a problem in between that journey with your partner, Then the first thing is that you have to report to the police, report to the refugee center, report to your medical, report social services. Let those who need the information have it at hand. Yeah. And then the next thing is to make an application for 3 months. Because remember, the reason why you have to go and get 3 months visa and come up from that entry clearance visa is because when you were given the spouse visa to enter, there is no recourse to public funds at the back of it. And once there is no recourse to public funds at the back of it, you cannot access anything to do with housing, benefit, child benefit on your own if you separated from your spouse during the domestic violence period. So the first thing you have to put in mind is to obtain the 3 months visa from the Home Office immediately. So you have to make application on DV, domestic violence, and obtain that opportunity visa 3 months. So that visa will allow you to access every public funds that we have in the United Kingdom based on the domestic violence you are fleeing. Hello. Good morning to you.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I just wanted to ask regarding the DL form, because we have been given to renew again, so we are not aware if we qualify to apply for a free waiver.
You've been given what?
We've been given a discretionary leave before, so we need to renew again. So I wanted to know, do we qualify for a free waiver?
How many of you?
There's 2 adults and 4 kids.
And there's daddy and mommy there.
Yes.
You're not going to qualify.
So 6 people, we don't qualify for a free waiver?
No, the whole idea of giving you status, my dear brother, is to go and work and have your independence from the government and have economic status. That's the whole idea. Those who have access to fee waivers are those who are, especially the single parent that are destitute. The word destitution comes into fee waiver. And if you're not destitute, you have your own rent house that you are paying your rent, you have your own mortgage, the husband and wife are giving this discretionary leave. Why should the government grant you fee waiver in the first instance?
Yeah, but because the money is too much now.
That is not the point, my dear. That is not the point. The point is that you have been granted a status that allows you to enter into the labor market. So your job, your duty is to get the money and make a further application. They're not going to grant you, quote my name, they're not going to give you fee waiver because you have been given a discretionary leave, which means that nothing is stopping you to go into the labor market again.
Yeah, the thing is, I renewed, they didn't pay last time, so I don't know if I have to pay now because it's not sure.
Are you on asylum? Are you an asylum seeker?
Yes.
If you're asylum seeker, that is different. That is a different matter.
Okay.
Yes, if you're asylum seeker, that is on a different ball game.
Okay, so I qualify if I'm an asylum.
I will say that when you meet the Secretary of State, then they will decide. But I will not give you that, what is it called, advantage ahead, making you happy in advance. Because it's not my duty.
Okay,
yes.
I understand. Thank you very much.
That's okay, dear. That's okay. Hello?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Good morning, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the good talk. I just have a quick question to ask, ma'am. I have a partner. She's a dependent on a EU brother, but she has gotten a permanent residence now. And we are together. I have a visit visa. I came in on visit visa, but I've overstayed because I got 2 years, but I've overstayed.
Okay.
So the visa is going to expire by the 2 years we could last by December. So
okay.
I just want to know if there's anything we can do here together, maybe like weddings for me to, because we're in a relationship together.
But you were not in a relationship at the time she was granted. She said she was single at that time.
Yeah.
So the condition of grant will remain intact.
Yeah.
So she needs to finish her application with her brother as a dependent before she can make application for you.
She has finished that. She has gotten a permanent resident.
Oh yes. She should be able to make application for you now.
Without going back to Nigeria.
Well, I wouldn't say without going back, but I'm just saying that she can make application for you outside the rules. I'm not saying you should not go back because the rules want you to go back on the visit visa. So I'm not going to open my mouth to the public and tell you that you shouldn't go back.
Yeah. But can
I'm on 0208
Okay.
309
All right.
8808.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
I will bring you to office to put up on it.
Yes, after 9:30.
All right.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, bye. You see, don't forget that when you are asking me questions, I'm in a public arena, I'm in a public glare, and I must, put myself together properly, like a legal practitioner that knows exactly what she's saying within the law. I don't have an obligation to tell you that you don't have to return back to your country after your visa. The law says that immediately, before your visa runs out, you must return back to your country of origin. So if you state on your application that you come in on 3 months, you are going to stay 2 months or 3 months, that is your duty to comply. You have an obligation to the government of the United Kingdom to comply. Once you have run out of that visa, it means that you are now giving them the reason why you are unable to return. So you are asking them to pardon you. You are asking them to asking the government to exercise, discretionary power. And to exercise the discretionary power, there has to be some formalities they have to go through to look into. It is not automatic. And when you are doing this kind of thing, you need to take advice. That's the curriculum. If you don't take advice as a normal thing, you're going to be refused. So you must take advice, and that's the bottom line. Take advice. I'm on 07908 for those who are still asking me numbers. 07908 628 240. I'm on 07908 628 240. The question is, am I entitled to fee exemption on a settlement basis? Am I entitled to fee exemption on settlement application? The answer to this is that yes, you will only be entitled to if you are fleeing domestic violence. If you're fleeing domestic violence, you will be entitled to make a fee waiver application. But there is no opportunity for anyone possibly to make an application for settlement, a fee waiver application for settlement applications, only in the case of domestic violence. So in the cases where there is domestic violence, then the person will have the opportunity. In fact, do not attempt to apply for a fee waiver, because for the settlement application, because it will be rejected. And by the time it's rejected, you will have run out of leave to remain. So you will be left with no leave. So there is no need to make attempt, because making an attempt to make application for a fee waiver will mean that the application will be rejected. And once it's rejected, it means that you have no leave to remain anymore by the time it's sent out to you. So by the time you run around to go and get money and wanting to put in the application back to the government, it will mean that you will have run out of status. So that settlement application has gone. You have jeopardized it. So they will have to put you back on 10 years parent route. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́ran ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́gun. Ọmọ aláṣọ ò gbọ́dọ̀ wà kísà. That's the point. It will be so bad if it happens to anyone. It will be that bad.
Hello.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. My name is Farid, and I have a question. Question is, I'm not in Ireland. I'm not in UK. I'm living in Ireland, right?
Right.
And my wife is British, and I have 18-month baby girl as well. And we are married in Ireland, civil marriage. Is there any possibility, I don't have any, before I have visa in Ireland, right? But at the minute I applied for, but I haven't got visa at the minute. But I live in Ireland with my wife and everything. I have my wife's business and everything is here. But the problem is she works in UK as well. Is there any possibility to apply in UK? I know.
You are you are already in Ireland. You live in Ireland.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Please lower your device.
Sorry.
Lower your device. Lower whatever you are using to listen to me. Can you lower the volume for me? Put the volume down, so that I will not be hearing myself again. Now, you're saying that you are in Ireland.
Yes.
And your wife has an Irish passport.
No, my wife has a British passport.
Oh, your wife has British passport. So your wife is exercising treaty right in Ireland.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So, what's your question again? You want to move back to United Kingdom?
Yeah, because the problem is my wife have a business here, okay, but she job in UK as well. She worked as a Birmingham City Council.
Your wife has a job in the United Kingdom or in Ireland?
No. She works in the United Kingdom, right?
Okay.
But she have a business in Ireland.
How possible? Because your wife needs to exercise treaty rights. So if she's working, if you guys are in Ireland, it means that she's exercising treaty rights, and you are non-European person. Yeah, you are from third country.
Yeah, I'm from Pakistan.
Exactly. So at the end of I don't know what plans you guys have in place. So tell me your plan before I start giving advice, so that I don't give wrong advice.
No, my plan is my wife wants to be more in UK.
Okay, you guys want to move back to United Kingdom.
Yes.
So what visa have you got? What status have you got in Ireland at the moment?
At the minute, before, I have a stamp 4 in Ireland.
Which is equivalent to a residence card.
Residence card, yeah.
Yes. So which means that if your wife and yourself have spent 6 months together in Ireland now, both of you can move freely into United Kingdom back under the case law we call surrender sink.
No, easy any because the problem. I feel the problem is she have a business here. Like she's not working, but she's a partner of my brother, right? Yeah.
My dear, I am not going to advise you on business. I'm going to advise you on law. That's my point. That's the point. I am going to give you advice on the movement, free movement of person. There is nothing concern me about the business. What concerns me is that if your wife is working in Ireland and contributing to the economy of the Irish government, your wife will be able to move back to the United Kingdom after 6 months. Because of you, both of you can move back to United Kingdom, and you will be able to have your residence card as if your wife is a European citizen, because she has gone to another European country to go and work and contribute to go and contribute into the economy there. She's in Ireland, which is the Irish government, so she has contributed into the Irish government a kitty, providing that she has paid all the due taxes. If she has not paid all the due taxes, then she will not be able to exercise that treaty right. Young man, I tell you what you can do, because I don't want you to keep me here. Let me take another people's call. Call me and take advice properly later on, okay? You have this number. Call and take proper advice later on. There is no need to keep me on board now, because it's too early for me. Please, yeah? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get the mirror clear now, so that we will not be contradicting each other or giving wrong advice. I'm not here to advise you on business. If anyone wants to know about the movement of person on immigration matter, then I'll give you advice on the law. I specialize on law, not on business. So if you are in Ireland and you have business in Ireland and you have business in UK and you are thinking of how to do it, that's your prerogative. If you pay taxes in Ireland, all the due taxes to the Irish government on a British passport with non-European person, you will be able to move freely on free movement of person into United Kingdom, providing there is evidence that you have contributed into the economy of that country. Because UK government will be asking you evidence of work from Ireland when you want to make application for your family member in the UK back under the law we call surrender sink law. So it is not something anybody can just play with anyhow. Hello. Yes, good morning. So my job is to make sure that I advise you correctly when I'm on a public glare like this. If you don't pay taxes in the country where you are coming from, you will not be able to rely on Surinder Singh in the United Kingdom. Let's get that clear now. You won't be able to rely on Surinder Singh if you don't pay all the due taxes from Ireland. Hello? Morning to you there.
And I got to British citizen. My wife got leave to remain. But on that day of hearing, they said that they are not going to contest. What does that mean?
It means that they are not going to challenge you. They are not going to contest.
Yes.
So what was the outcome of the case?
And the judge now told them that they should make a determination within 8 weeks.
Yes.
The representing officer said, the Home Office said that they are not going to contest with me anymore.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes. So is it positive answer, man?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, thank you very much, man.
Yeah.
God bless you.
If the Home Office said they are not going to contest with you, it means that they have withdrawn the case. They've withdrawn the matter from court. But there's supposed to be a letter of statement in that regard. You cannot accept that. You cannot accept that by word of mouth.
Yeah, what they said that they sent it to my judge and to my lawyer on Friday, found to that the court date on Monday. They said they sent it on that is around 4 o'clock in the evening. So on Monday they did not show it to the judge. They said that they have copied to the judge office. So the judge didn't say it. So they gave the letter to the judge. So they said that they will copy me. Is that clear, man?
Yeah, as long as you have evidence, because they withdraw. That's the meaning of it is that the case has been withdrawn.
Oh, that's good, man.
Yes,
Thank you, man.
so it's a good news in a sense, but you must have evidence that the case is withdrawn.
They notified the judge. They told the judge and my lawyer also. That was the representing officer said.
So I won't
on that Monday.
So there shouldn't be a problem on that then, isn't it?
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. When you are in court and Home Office says that they want to come out of case, you must have evidence in writing. Okay? But when it's a case in court anyway, the judge will have noted it down and the letter will be sent out to you. So it shouldn't be any problem. Good morning to you.
Good morning, madam. Hello.
Lower your device, madam.
Yeah, please. I want to talk to the.
You are speaking to me. You are speaking to me. Lower your device so I can hear you.
Yeah. Lawyer, please. I made an application with my adult son with 2 dependent children, and the lawyer put the application together with my elder son. So when the application went, now the Home Office cannot find my application with the 2 dependents, but only my adult son application is on the system. So my lawyer follow up and argue the case with them and follow up with photocopies of all he sent to them. They now took my visa, my application fee based on the photocopies my lawyer sent to them, and trying to say I've overstayed and all that. So I don't know what to do. I want an advice from you on this case, please.
You cannot make application with your adult son unless both of you have made the application together before your son reaches that age of 18.
Based on him, when he was 7 years, that's when I was granted.
And what type of application was that?
A family life, I think.
So that was when it was 7 years. So now, so have did you, how do I even ask you this question? Was the application?
It was 7 years in this country.
So you have been renewed on him, yeah? You've been renewed on him.
Yes, please.
But the application is supposed to be in one pack.
Yeah, so he sent it together with him and write this is, he said he clearly stated that it's a two different application with one adult son with one adult with two dependent children with one single adult son and send it together. But now they can't find mine with my two dependent children.
That application was settlement or continuous of a family life?
Continuous of a family life, please.
It's supposed to be one application because the application is supposed to be prepared as if that guy was still an underage. Yes.
So he did it together and sent it through the same envelope, put it in the same envelope.
But it should have been one form for FLRFP, and then start photocopy the dependents page inside it. It's not two forms, it's one form. It's one form for all of you, and you are still the main applicant. Your son is not the applicant. Your son is the dependent.
Because my son is 20 years.
It doesn't matter. The application supposed to be submitted as if that guy was still an underage.
Okay.
Speak to your lawyer a bit more.
Because he said he made everything because I'm the main applicant on this issue.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm the main applicant, but they've only when the Home Office typed the reference number, it's only my son's name that comes. They can't find anything about me and the two dependent children.
I don't know how your lawyer managed to do it, so you should be questioning him privately and see how what's unfold in between and what happened, so that you'll be able to make amendment as quickly as possible. If not, if care is not taken, I'm sorry, you might be out of status before you realize.
Yeah, I'm even out of status. They've asked me to stop work and all that, and we still sending lots of letters, just saying the same issue to them. The lawyers just sending them letters, and the same issue is telling them, but it seems they are not getting the issue. I don't know. It seems they are not understanding.
What do you want me to do, madam? My point here is to give you advice. Advice I can give you is that go back to your lawyer and say, listen, take copies of the documents that you sent to the Home Office, including mine, and forward it back to the department that acknowledge your son's one and say, listen, was two money taken from the account? That's another point. Did you pay to NHS?
They took, based on the photocopy my lawyer sent to them, because I told my lawyer, and he sent all the photocopy he sent to them. He's made the same application and sent to them again.
Can you call your lawyer? Can you call your lawyer and tell your lawyer to sort it out, please? Tell him to do photocopies of the document that he sent to them and forward it back to the department that acknowledge your son's application alone. Because in the first instance, it's supposed to be one application plus other dependent form inside it. So it's not two applications, it's one. Applications are supposed to have been made as if your son is still an underage. So that's it. Good morning, dear. Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. I just want to ask a few questions. Yeah?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I got a child, which was in the UK.
Okay.
And on that time, I was on resident card.
Yes.
Now, I've got my permanent residence. So my question is, do I have to, can I register, can I apply for a passport for the child, or I need to register the child before I can apply for his passport?
Say it again. Say it again.
I have a child. He was born in the UK 2015. At the time of birth of the child, I was on resident card.
Okay.
But now I'm not my permanent resident. So I just want to ask, can I apply for British passport for the child? Or I need to register the child before I can apply for the
How old is your child? And where was your child born?
It was on 2015
Okay. And where was the child born?
in the UK.
Yeah, of course you can. You can apply passport for a child.
So I don't need to register for the
Not at all.
passport.
No.
Alright, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I have over 50 missed call already. Please let us be quick when we're asking questions. That's the only way to get through it before I will go into my work. Please, I'm online. Whoever is sending me thing, please just go and check. Go back online and go and take my phone number from online, please, and stop distracting my attention. Hello. Yes, please hold on. Please, those who are sending me inbox messages, you can see that I'm online. Please let us respect each other and respect ourselves. Stop sending me inbox messages at this time because I'm concentrating on the work I'm doing. Please, please, please. Go and pick up the phone number on online. So if you are on Facebook already, it means you are on Facebook, so you can see me. Stop distracting attention. Please, anybody who is sending me messages, please, I beg of you, without being proud, please just go on my page and go and get the phone number. I'm on 07908 628 240. If you use the same number, there is WhatsApp on it. 07908 628 240. The same number has WhatsApp. Please, 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 please. Good morning, my dear. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning. Mommy, I need your advice on a friend of mine. She's got two children, which is Nigerian and British citizen. They got dual nationality. And my friend is actually applying based on the children. Though her application is in the Home Office right now, but the partner wants the children back in Nigeria, which he has court order over it, because the husband is saying he's working in Nigeria, he's earning that he's from Nigeria, but the court has ordered the children to be fly back to Nigeria since they are habitual residents in Nigeria. So right now, she wants to go back with the children, and on her visa before she applied, she's got 5 years. But because she has been living with the partner with a domestic abuse issue, because the man keeps beating her every now and then. So she now says she wants to stay here. But because the younger child is just 1 year and the elder one is 5 years old, so she's saying she wants to go back with the children. So my own concern now is if she has to withdraw back her application from the Home Office, is it going to affect her coming in future?
Has she stayed more than 6 months?
Yeah, she's stayed for a year now.
There is every possibility that it will affect her. And there is another in place that she has to return the children back to their country of origin, which is Nigeria, possibly.
The children are born here, but they've got British nationality.
What?
British citizen as well.
They have British passport.
Yeah, they both have.
So what happened? What happened?
The husband wants the children back in Nigeria. She's using the children she wants to stay here.
But she listen. It takes two to tango. Let us be realistic to ourselves. As she obtained her husband's consent before bringing the children down to UK.
Yeah. They both came down.
But the music has turned around now, isn't it? They have turned the music around.
Yeah, it's the husband, because the husband doesn't want her anymore. The husband said they should go their separate ways.
Listen, if the lady is fleeing domestic violence in Nigeria to have managed to escape and come to United Kingdom, she's supposed to hire the service of a good lawyer to stand in that case and make an application for her under those 2 British children to remain in the UK as a parent of British children. There is court order in place now expecting her to return the children back to the father. And if care is not taken, it will become an international case. Because if the husband is financially viable, the husband will make sure that he enforce that law to make sure that the children are returned back to Nigeria.
Yeah, because the court has actually ordered that they should go back to Nigeria.
So
and she is working here with the organization that deals with domestic issue, but she didn't go on time to meet them. And when the judge said they are not looking into abuse, domestic abuse with the husband, that what he is focusing on is the habitual residency of the children.
Exactly, because the judge was not assisted enough to have make enough decision on the domestic violence side. The judge was not assisted, so we will not blame the judge in that aspect. The judge only look at the real law, which is the residency law.
And there wasn't error in the law, so that's why they granted the husband to go back. But mommy, my own concern now is if she had to withdraw her application from the Home Office, is she going to able to come back into the country with the 5 years she's got?
No, because she has overstayed the visa already, so they might not allow her entry. You know, she's not going to reapply for visa. She's going to come in, but there is every possibility that they might not land her at the entry.
Okay, ma'am.
There's every possibility that she may not be landed.
Because, mommy, I'm saying she should allow the husband to take the children while she should fight her application here. And once the application is out, she can seek the custody of the children back.
So are you saying that she take the children back?
No, the judge said the husband take the children back.
There is a court order in place.
The mother.
There is a court order in place, and that must be respected.
Yes, yeah. Because I am saying you should allow the husband to take the children back because they said with or without the mother.
If
So I'm not saying that if she has to stay back since her application is in the Home Office because we don't know the decision.
she's not going to succeed in that application. Let's be realistic to ourselves. Once the children are out of the country, that's the end of the application. Because the whole idea of that application is to put it under the kids, and the kids are UK citizens. Now there is a court order in place saying that the children must be returned back to their habitual residence country.
Okay, but mommy, what's your advice?
That case can be thrown away. That case can be challenged. That case can be challenged if there is enough evidence in place. But there wasn't enough evidence before the judge. There was not enough evidence. The judge made a decision based on the evidence before so the case can be challenged. Because the moment that lady is out of the United Kingdom, she's on her own. Nigeria is a country that, in fact, I don't want to say more here.
And the husband is highly influential. He has money. He has everything. So my own fear is if she has to go back to Nigeria, the husband will talk her out of the house.
Definitely.
And she won't have access to the children.
Definitely. In my mind, that's what I was thinking. In my mind, that's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. In my mind, that is exactly what I was thinking.
So, though she has a social worker which is dealing with her case on domestic abuse.
But she did not use the social worker and the domestic abuse case at the time the case was in court with the judge. Because the interest of the children will have come first before the judge. And the judge will have made decision on Section 55. But there was no evidence to that effect at the time they were in court. So blame judge not.
So it's now like if she go back, her application will be oh God.
Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
The judge wasn't assisted properly. At the time the case was put, at the time statements were put together and the document, there was nothing indicating that there was domestic violence. There was no social services report. In fact, there was no Kafka's report. If there were to be Kafka's would have assessed the need of the children and their safety on grant if they were taken back to Nigeria. Kafka's duty is to assess. There was no Kafka's report. There was no social services. There were probably nothing indicating domestic violence at the time. So the application was just on a battle to battle between a man and his wife on children.
Because I'm actually thinking, can she now go back to the social worker to say they should fight a case based on domestic?
Let me tell you way forward. If she knows that she will be at risk, or the children will be at risk in taking them to Nigeria, fresh evidence will have to unfold now. Fresh evidence. You have to bring fresh evidence out. And fresh evidence will be the issue of domestic violence, with evidence to corroborate, not just a mere talk. So the case has to go back to court with the social services report, and perhaps to visit Kafka's first and say, listen, this is what I'm going through. So there has to be a family lawyer in place. Was there a lawyer handling this matter? I mean, I want to know.
She did legal aid, and even the lawyer and solicitor wasn't really helping her case.
So she used legal aid. Of course, somebody who is fleeing domestic violence will be expected to use legal aid anyway. But the point here is that the judge was not properly furnished. So you need to, if she's scared to go back to Nigeria on the ground that the children will be taken away from her, she's fleeing domestic violence, or she was on domestic violence at the time, then the case will need to be reopened back in the United Kingdom. So the husband will need to flow back and come and challenge it again. So if the husband thinks that it's financially viable, then he needs to come and challenge the case again. But the case needs to be revisited in court. So let's move forward and arrange. You can tell your friend to arrange to get consultation in the office later on.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes,
All right.
yes. You see, it's a very short program, so let's try as much as possible to be quick and effective in our questions so that we can move to the next person and give them the opportunity. A lot of people have been calling, over 80 missed calls now. So let's try to be quick. Hello? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Morning, dear.
Good morning, ma'am. God bless you, ma'am.
God bless you. Thank you. Please go ahead. I'm just reading some comments and smiling here.
I've got an application at the home office.
Right.
I came into this country as a student, and I was part of the last set that got the post-study leave.
Okay.
So I made an application sometimes back. Then my daughter came to join me. They have spent her for about years. She came at the age of 5, but she's now 11.
Okay.
I met a partner here, and I had a child for him. He has a certificate.
Okay.
I got my Okay.
Yes.
Up to now.
You made application when?
December, ma'am.
Okay.
Based on the child and also my first child, she's now 11.
Okay.
She spent half of her years here.
Okay.
So
So what is your question, madam? You submitted application in December. We are now in June.
Yes.
So you just reached your 6 months. Have you done biometric?
I've done biometrics last month.
Okay, so you have to keep waiting for them. If biometric has been done, so it means that they have received your application.
Okay.
So you just have to hang in there.
All right.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye. Somebody said, let me just read question here. It's not even question, so I will not read it out so that I don't cause problem. Let anybody reading it themselves read it there. Hello?
Good morning, madam.
Morning, dear.
I wanted to ask it about a DL, not a settlement. I was granted in 2018, and I was granted outside the immigration rule, and we're given 2.5 years, and we renewed in 2015, and we're due to renew in August. I wanted to ask if we have to pay fees and the forms we're supposed to fill in, because last time the refugee helped us and we didn't have to pay anything.
You got a refugee status?
No, we've got, we were asylum seekers granted outside the immigration rules. So last time we renewed in 2015, and the refugee offices helped us to do the application.
Okay.
And we are due to renew in August again. It's now the second time. We're given 2.5 years. So we wanted to ask if we are paying as well, or we should do a fee waiver.
What type of status are you going for? You're going for indefinite leave to remain?
No, because we are still on our 5th year after we have been granted the papers.
Yeah, but I'm not going to advise you to go on fee waiver. I'm just going to say whether you will be entitled or not. But I'm not going to say go on fee waiver.
Okay, so which form do we apply on for the renewal of the DL?
How do you get your discretionary leave? On child, on refugee, on what?
Asylum seeker.
So you use the same asylum seeking form again, but don't do it yourself, okay? If it's 3 years, then you use your lawyer to continue to do it yourself. Don't ask me the form because it's a bit complicated. Don't do it yourself. Yeah. Don't do it yourself because they can refuse you.
Okay.
Just tell your lawyer to carry on, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, tell your lawyer to do it for you.
Okay, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen out there, you see, don't say because you've been granted asylum status or refugee status or discretionary leave and you want to take risk to do it yourself, especially this kind of person that's asking me a question. Don't do it yourself. Go and use the same lawyer you use, and if you're not getting on with your lawyer, then take it back to use another lawyer, because if you don't do it that way, in fact, use me. That is the bottom line. If you're not getting along with your lawyer, then come and use my practice. Okay, come and use my practice if you are not getting along with your lawyer, but don't do it yourself. Go and check with your lawyer, and if your lawyer is not doing what he or she's supposed to do, then come and use my office. Don't do it yourself, because if you are refused, you will spend 3 times money to take the case to court, and you will even be stressed out. So that's the point. I'm on 07908 628240. My listener, okay, my listener should not be denied. Please read the comment. Where is the where are the comment? Yeah, my listener, I can't see your comments now. Yeah, hello dear.
Good morning, ma. How are you, ma?
I'm very well, thank you, dear.
Yeah, just a quick one, because I had what you just told this lady that just called now about using a lawyer. In the case of my partner, he's got issue with his previous partner. In the case, this is the case of children. Like he's meant to go to the children court like this month.
but he's not using his lawyers again because they're charging him too much.
Okay.
Which I am advising him, like, do you think you can do it yourself? But I just want to know, is it proper for him to do it himself, or he still needs a lawyer to go and represent him?
Please don't advise him to do it himself or herself. Please don't do that. Please don't get involved, because if they refuse this lady or she gets it messed up. In fact, if it's a case that is going to court, judges are so unrest, looking at ordinary layman person standing before them and struggling to put documents together. It's a waste of time in court. Please don't advise your friend to do case by themselves in court. Please, I am begging you, let them go and use lawyer. Don't get involved, because if they are refused, your name will be mentioned.
Okay.
Yes.
I was thinking he can say things. He can talk on his own. It's about his children, and he wants to get access to his children.
But there is a legal argument. There are legal arguments that they have to put forward. There are some law that you have to quote when you are before the judge to say that this is the right. And if a lay person, how would a lay person quote the law? Please advise against. Please advise against it. Please don't advise to go for it. Please. She cannot handle it by herself.
He only have like 1 week to go now, so he's just because he doesn't have the money they're charging him. That is why he's thinking.
And anyway, let her take it forward. Let him take it forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for your advice.
Okay, dear. Bye. Why don't you friends stay away from your friends' immigration problem? For God's sake, cry and loud, and stop advising them to take case forward by themselves when you have obtained your own. And you use your lawyer. You use the lawyer to do yours for you. Why are you advising a friend of somebody else not to use lawyer? It's so complicated when you take case to court. It's not straightforward in court. Court is where the lawyers are able to show their stuff, what they are capable of. Court is an arena where we quote law, where we can put our head up that this is what we want in the society. Court is not for Dick and Harry. It's not for a layman to go and face the judge, especially when you are going to on a children issue, on dispute, on litigation. You cannot handle the matter yourself. Please. Judges are not happy. Hello? Hello? Morning to you, dear. Morning.
Yes, ma'am. I just want to ask a question, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. I have my kid. My kid was born here in 2013.
Yeah.
Their mom is Italian. So I don't know how would it be if I can get their passport, British passport.
Their mom is what? British citizen?
No, Italian.
Is what?
Italian.
Italian citizen. Okay, and were they born in the UK?
Yes, he was born in the UK.
Is the mother in the United Kingdom?
Yes.
Is she working in the UK?
She's not working, but I'm working because I got my resident card in 2014.
How old are these children?
They are 5, over 5 years now.
Yeah, I think you should be able to put them on now. If their mother were to have been working, they should have just put them in. But you are married, isn't it?
No, we're not married.
You can still apply for your children if they are only if she's only 5 or under 5.
Yeah, they are 5 years now.
Both of them are 5. Are they 2?
Yes.
Yeah, of course you can do it. You can apply for them.
Okay, so I don't need to register before.
No, you don't need to, because they were born in the UK, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can apply straight away.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, dear. Bye.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Can I apply myself without their mother because they live with me?
Yeah, you can apply for them. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. I can't read questions. I cannot see questions being posed to me here on immigration matter. My listeners should not be denied. I know there are some people who be, no, I mean the woman. Okay. There's a question saying, how can you make application for underage alone? It depends on the type of application you are referring to. You know, it actually depends on the application you were referring to. You know, because you can make application for underage alone. If you have a status and the child was brought into the UK to come and join you, of course you have to make application for the child alone. You know, it has to be your child. But if the child was born here and is under 7 years rule or outside the rules, then you have to make it with the adult. You know, if you don't do the application with an adult, then it's going to be a bit difficult. You know, so you have to. Good morning, where's Amanda? Are you having a problem? Please come through. Thank you. I'm on Facebook now, so I'm going to round up. I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, I said once my first appointment come in, I'm going to go away until the staff start coming in, and my office is not open until 9:30. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to appreciate you, but the question I was trying to answer earlier on underage, you can make application for underage alone if the parents are already settled in the UK and the child came in. Then of course, underage application can be submitted to the Home Office directly without an adult. But if the underage is in the UK, it has to go with an adult, unless if the underage is staying with somebody who has a settlement status. But you have to show the whereabouts of the parent of that underage for you to make a successful application. And you have to have what we call a kind of parental order, a parental responsibility in place, or guardianship order in place before you can make a successful application. So if I have time, but not today anymore, because I have a busy schedule ahead of me, so you will not be able to see me online today again. It's not possible to see me online again today. Ladies and gentlemen, phone my office and book appointment after 9:30. Phone office, book appointment after 9:30. That's when my staff will start coming in. But I have to go now because I'm doing early morning work today. I'm starting very early. So phone office, book appointment after 9:30 a.m. on 0208 309 8808. Thank you. You know, so I have to go now, ladies and gentlemen. I want to appreciate all of you for coming on board for the education team that you have heard this morning, and that is what I will continue to give you. And if there's anything to do with community issue, to advise on the issue going on issue of how to maintain home, how to take care of the children so that the social services will not take your children away from you, how not to threaten your partner on a status that you are holding, will come on board and give you the information on time. Apart from that, I am known as Lawyer Tokunbo Lagbaye, and I will remain the same on that high level. My duty and my job in the community, in the country, is an advocate of court. I am a lawyer, I'm a solicitor. I stand corrected on the legal advice I'm giving you. I check my law carefully before I come out so I don't give wrong advice. Thank you for coming out to listen to me, and I will be back when I have time, not today again. Thank you. Take care, everybody. I love you most. Thank you so much. Bye for now.